Hi friends, in this IBM BPM tutorial, we are going to learn about UCA. UCA stands for Undercover Agent. So we will learn about the messaging events, okay? And UCA is a special type of messaging event in IBM BPM. We will also talk about the intermediate messaging event, and we will also see one example, okay, how to implement an event-based UCA in IBM BPM. Okay, so the first thing comes, what is UCA, Undercover Agent. Okay, so till now, whatever the business process which we have implemented, all the business process are manual started. Okay, so someone need to log into the process portal and he has to start the business process. Okay, but that might not be the case always. Think about such type of business scenario where at 5 o'clock automatically the business process would be started, and the data which is stored in one database should be migrated to some other database. Means the whole day whatever the transaction data has come, I want to migrate it to some other database. For that I have to create a business process, and I do not want that business process to be manually started. Okay, I want it to be started as per the time. Okay, it could be, or it could be another thing, like whenever any external message come from some external system or service, at that point the process should be started. Okay, so such type of a business process which need some external trigger to start and they could be automatically started, we normally implement using the UCA or undercover agent. Okay, that's why if you see the definition over here, it states like an undercover agent listens for trigger from external systems. Okay, so external system can send a message to our IBM BPM process, explicitly coded invoke UCA service components, or for scheduled time-based events. Okay, so there are two type of a external message can come. It could be a time-based or it could be event-based. Okay, messaging event-based. Okay, UCAs are also responsible for starting a process instance through a message start event or for waking up a message intermediate event that is contained within a BPD. Okay, so there are two type of business scenario we can implement. One is to start the business process on at a particular time or when any external event occurs. Another scenario could be when business process is running and business process has to stop at some particular activity. Okay, and when any external event occur, then automatically business process will be resumed. Okay, so such type of a suppose let's talk about this in credit card business process. Okay, so in the credit card business process, what I did, at some particular time I sent a message to the credit bureau, and from the credit bureau it will check what is the credit score. If the credit score is less than 600 out of 1000, okay, means then when the credit score will come, then only business process will again resume. Okay, so it's like indirect way you are halting the business process, and when the credit score comes, then you are doing some validation in the credit score and then you are resuming the business process. Okay, so we can implement a UCA using, one is, if I will explain you over here. So UCA can be two type. Okay, one is a event based UCA and another one will be the time based UCA. Okay, and UCA could be two type. One is the starting the business process. Okay, and second one is a intermediate events. Okay, fine. So let's see over here. How to start the UCA? You have to go to your palette, and in the palette click on the implementation, and here is the undercover agent, and like that we can start our UCA. Once you will start the UCA, as I told you, it could be a messaging event type or it will be time elapsed UCA. Okay, fine. So now in my use case, I'm going to create a sample business process, and this business process will be started by a UCA by some external system. Okay, so whenever the message will come from external system, okay, I'm going to invoke this UCA, and the UCA is going to start the business process. Okay, it will not be a manually started business process. Okay. Okay, so the use case which we are going to develop, okay, here, okay, so this is the our BPM application. In that BPM application, we do have a business process. I will explain. This is a business process. Okay, this business process will be started via some external system. Okay, so this is the external system, and when the message will come, it will send the message using the SOAP over HTTP web service. This connection will be SOAP over HTTP. Okay, it will be a web service connection. Okay, from the IBM BPM side, okay, the process has to be exposed as a SOAP based web service. Okay, so here you are going to provide a WSDL file to the external system. File to the external system. Okay, with that the external system will create a SOAP request. Okay, and when this SOAP request will come, that SOAP request will start the business process. Okay, so here I am going to create a sample business process. Okay, business process. So in sample BP it will log in the log file. Okay, so this is a business process which is going to do the logging job. Okay, so let's do the exercise. Okay, so first thing what I need to do, I need to create a business process. Okay, so just give over here logging BP finish. Okay, here you have to create an activity. Just drop an activity, just make here log activity. Okay, connect start to end. Okay, fine, and just change this to the, because you are going to log something, implementation, and make it as a script. And here in the script I'm just going to use the log.info function, and here I can say this process is invoked by UCA. Okay, fine, just save this. And currently if you want to execute this business process, it will be executed, but it will be manually executed. Okay, so what you need to do, you have to change this to the message start event. Okay, so we have already seen none, so you have to say as a message start event. As soon as you change it to the message start event, it will ask you from which UCA you want to start. So you have to create a UCA. Okay, so what you can do, you can create a UCA from here also, attached message UCA new, and give some name as a my UCA, because this UCA is not, so you can see there are two type of UCA you can create: on event or time elapsed. Okay, on event means if any messaging event occurs. So since for us the message comes from the external service, so it's a message UCA, so you can create, you have to select as a on event. If you want to fire this UCA at particular time, then you can also select as a time elapsed UCA. Okay, fine, I'm just going to change the name and make it as a logging UCA. Finish. Okay, a UCA can be fired using a variable or a service. Okay, so you can select anything. Here I am going to have a service. Okay, so UCA should be connected to its own service, so you need to create a service also for the UCA. You can create a general system service. Okay, and just give some name as a logging UCA service. You can give this name. Finish. You can create the input and output variables also. Okay, so let's give some input variable as a input, and here select as a output also, output. Okay, string, both are string. In the diagram we are just connecting start to end. Okay, so whatever the input is coming, the same will go for the output. So this is just a generic UCA service which UCA needs. Okay, so what you can do, go to logging UCA and select this service, UCA service. Okay, so logging UCA service. Fine. Now what we want to expose this UCA, expose this business process as a SOAP based service. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a integration service, and in this integration service I'm just going to give some name, UCA exposed, or I can say calling UCA service. Okay, so from this service I'm going to call the UCA. Okay, so here what you need to do, just select this invoke UCA button. Okay, invoke UCA, give the name of the UCA which you want to invoke. Select here which UCA I want to invoke. I want to invoke logging UCA. Okay, so give the logging UCA name over here. Fine, just select the input variables, input, and here you can put some output. Okay, if you want to map this mapping, so you can just give the tw.local.output. Okay, output variable you can just map to over here. Fine. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to create one more web service. Okay, and here just give us a some name as a UCA, oh sorry, I can give us a process exposed web service. Okay, finish. Give name over here. What you need to do, you have to add your service integration service. Okay, so UCA calling service, calling UCA service, you can give some name also, calling UCA service. Okay, so let's see what are the things we did over here. Okay, let me explain you over here. So many things we did. Okay, so in our business process, first we created a business process. Okay, so let me put it over here. So this is your logging BP. Okay, second step, what I did. Okay, first step, create business process. Okay, you can create any business process which you want to start from the UCA. Create logging business process. Second thing is changed start event to message start event. Okay, message start event. Okay, then what you did, you created a UCA, created UCA and UCA service. UCA will always be attached to a service, so UCA service you created. Okay, fine, and then you created one more service which is going to call UCA, okay, and you gave some name as a service calling UCA service, okay. Then you expose this service, exposed this calling UCA service to outside as SOAP based service, okay, SOAP based service. Fine. So here you created a UCA layer. So this is the UCA layer. Then you created another service, okay, and you created another service, okay, and this is the external system, okay. So here if you just write it over here, this is the external, okay, system. Fine. This is the web service which is going to expose, okay, which is going to provide a WSDL file, okay. This will be the calling UCA service, and this one will be the your actual UCA which is going to create UCA and its service, okay. That's it. These are the things we did. This all configuration you will do in IBM BPM side, okay. This is all the configuration is done by in BPM side. Fine. Okay, now you will get a WSDL file, and this WSDL file you are going to give to external system, and that external system will send a message, okay, and whenever the message will come, this process will be executed, okay. So let me show you one more time what we did. We created this external service, attached this external service to calling UCA service. In the calling UCA service, I am calling to that UCA. I gave the name of the UCA, okay, and I'm mapping the variable. Now let's go to this UCA, logging UCA. Logging UCA is attached to its own service, logging UCA service, okay, and this logging UCA is attached to business process, okay. So let's, okay, if you select over here, the name of the UCA is logging UCA, okay. Fine. If you want to give map, you can get a variable over here, and you can map your input output variable over here, okay, any input variable which is coming from the external system, tw dot local dot input, okay. Fine. Now what's the WSDL file which you are going to, this is the WSDL file. You need to click over here, and here we are going to test using the SOAP UI, okay. So if you do not have SOAP UI, you can just download the SOAP UI tool from internet, okay. So it's not there, so we'll just quickly download. Okay, so SOAP UI is installed now. What I am going to do over here, I'm going to copy this WSDL from here, copy, and create the SOAP request from here, file, new SOAP project, and paste the service over here, click on OK button. So you got the request, okay. So since it's a sample request, it will have only one parameter called as input, okay. In your request you can have multiple parameters, okay. Now I will come over here in the inspector view, and we will see whether this business process is getting started or not. So go to logging BP, go to inspector view. Currently there are no instances, so let's fire a request. I'm just giving some name, okay. Okay, so I got the response back from the service, okay. Now let's come over here and just refresh process instances, and here you can see logging BP one process instance is completed. Okay, so this is done by October 12th, okay, which today's date, October 12th, okay, and which is just now uh, done. And let's see whether in the log it printed the log or not. So go to installation path, IBM BPM version 8.5 profiles. This is the place where you can see all of your logs, node 1 profile, logs, and here cluster, and go to system out log. You can see the message is coming, this process is invoked by UCA. Okay, so what does it mean? It means I did not start the process is started by the external event. So this was an example of event based UCA. Okay, so same way we can also implement the time based UCA as well. Okay, I will show you with one more example. So let's put one more request. I got the response back. I should be getting the two instances over here. Just refresh, you can see another instance, and your log file also should get updated, and here you can see another logging is there. This process is invoked by UCA. I hope the UCA concept will be very clear to all of you. It's a very important concept in IBM BPM, and in almost every other project we implement UCA. Thank you.